system out here is turned on, this will be getting audio input. And that is just controlled in the upper left corner here. You can see where it says mic 1. And this set of 4 buttons.
Okay.
Yeah, right where the red light is. So it's an on and off switch for that input. Then you can see on the display over
It
here,
went off.
this bottom right corner is all the audio inputs.
Yeah.
So that one's turned on there.
So the red light is mic 1.
Yeah.
Or
And
input 1.
that's just an audio input into this box from the entire sound system.
So all the audios go into that
Yep.
in one shot. Okay.
Yep.
And you said the audio has to be turned on out
Yeah,
here.
yeah, the audio system out here does have to be turned on for that to work. Okay, and go ahead and show you in here one thing real quick. In the event of a power outage, everything should just kind of kick back on by itself. But one thing you will have to do, I went in to the audio tab here. You can see I kind of messed with some of the settings in here. A lot of that is just dynamic stuff. Put in a compressor, gate, that kind of thing, limiter. That's basically just to make sure it doesn't get too loud too fast for the people listening on the stream. And so those settings are saved, but if this box loses power, it will lose those settings, but they're backed up on the computer itself. So in order to restore those, you would just go File, Restore. And then it's this right here, the ATEM basic settings.
Okay. Just click on that then and it will
Yeah,
restore.
you would just click and then open. And it should restore right to this point. Let's see, and then as far as live streaming goes, let's get that set up here. Sorry, I'm not super familiar with Facebook. Yeah. See, so with the live streaming, you do have to create an event for it to work. This event is still up from the other day, just the test event. Then once you get your event created, you do set up live video. It should bring you here. You'll click Use Stream Key. And then on the ATEM box down here, the top right corner, you can see it says Stream, and then Off and On Air. If you click On Air, reset again, didn't it? Yep, okay. So for whatever reason, the persistent stream key from Facebook is not working, even though I select it every time. So what you'll need to do is come down here to the bottom where it says live stream setup. The second box here is the stream key. So you'll just hit the copy key there. Go back into the software control. Highlight this box and paste it in.
Okay, it's on air, it says.
Yep.
Okay.
There we go. So now that is broadcasting. It's not live on Facebook yet. This is still just the setup page. So once you get it outputting video to here, then there should be down here, sorry, bottom left corner, the Go Live button. And then
Okay.
that'll take the event live and actually start streaming the video. You can see there is a pretty healthy delay on what Facebook's getting, so if I do a cut now, it'll probably take a good 10-15 seconds before it shows up on here. Because this is the video that's being uploaded to Facebook. It takes some time for that process to happen. So,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, then.
So now, is it on Facebook right now?
It's not broadcasting on Facebook.
Oh.
This is still
No,
just the
because
setup
we did
page.
not set
Yeah.
the go live.
Yeah, at that point
Oh,
you would
okay.
hit, once you're ready to go, you would just hit Go Live. And then that would bring the whole thing live, and it would be broadcasting to Facebook.
Okay, do you wanna go ahead and hit it and I'll go look on my computer?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, I'll be, just go see what it looks like.
And I think we're gonna have to make sure we allow for that 15 seconds, so we don't consistently miss the beginning of,
Yeah.
or will it just be delayed?
Well, yeah, because you can do that but not go live for a while.
Right, so we just will have to make
So-
sure that back here, or whoever's running this,
Yeah.
starts it before we actually start the service. That's how I see it.
15-second countdown. Yep. Total
It's that red button that you pushed.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, the red button says on air.
No, the one, this one.
Oh, yeah, that was just to change the
To change
camera
the screen.
angles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So every time you're gonna change camera, it's gonna be a 10 to 15 second delay between,
That's just for the stream. You'll be dealing with it in real time. The stream is just gonna be watching 15 seconds behind the live action.
Okay.
Approximately 15 seconds. It varies.
Oh.
But yeah, you won't be looking at this view hardly at all. Once you get the Facebook live stream going, set up, everything there, you'll either switch back to this or ideally switch back to the output from this box itself instead of the computer.
okay,
So that way you can do here, you can see this change to a big on-air thing
yeah.
to indicate this is just kind of info about your stream, how long it's been going, that kind of thing.
So what's the difference between the two clocks?
Between the two what? Sorry.
So you got one clock here and you got another clock there.
Oh, this clock is for recording. We'll
No,
talk
I mean-
about
He's
that
talking
one in a
about,
second.
that's not a clock.
This isn't a clock here.
Oh.
This is the data rate.
Oh,
So how
okay.
fast the upload speed is, basically.
We've already got 3
That'll
people
kind of
watching
determine-
our test.
What?
3 people are watching. Okay.
Oh, one just dropped off.
Yeah, it's probably not super exciting right now.
One of them's
You
me.
quit waving at them, so they.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just the transmission
Okay,
data rate.
transfer,
So it's
okay.
how fast it's being
Upload,
uploaded to Facebook. So
okay.
that'll kind of dictate the quality you're getting for the end user for video, and also a little bit your delay will be determined by that. And then once you're done, you can just hit off here. You can see that canceled out of that, and that should automatically stop the stream on Facebook, I believe. Nope, it's still going. Okay, so you'll have to do that the other way around. You'll have to go back to Facebook first, hit end live video. And then you can hit off on
Okay.
here.
So when the red light's on, it's live.
When the red light's on this, it's transmitting video.
Transmitting,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
not
not
live yet.
necessarily live.
Not
Facebook
live, but I mean,
still
but-
has another
But I
control.
mean, it's set up for
Yeah.
live transmission,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so that should cover that part. Now for recording.
Yeah, that's,
I have this nice 4 terabyte hard drive here,
Ooh.
which sounds like a lot, and it is. So for that, that's this section here.
okay,
Before you start recording, you'll want to set your file name. That's just this box here. I just have it marked as test 1 for now. And then the drive that should always be selected, it's plugged directly into this box. I have it called ATEM Record.
Okay.
Then you can also see just a little tiny readout right here of how much time it has left for recording available on that drive. It's 1,450 hours.
Oh, is that all?
okay.
That'll actually go pretty quick.
What?
Believe it or not,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Because even if you were doing a couple hours a week, it would go a long time.
That's a
Yeah.
long sermon. Wow.
Yeah.
So once you get your
What are you
title in
saying,
here,
Gary? See, I'll eat that up real fast.
all right. So once you get your file name here set for whatever you want. Also, if you don't set a new file name every time, it will just start numbering them sequentially.
Oh, cool.
So if you, like, if I have it labeled test 1 now, it'll label it the next one test 1, 2, actually, because I have the 1 input already. So once you have all that set and ready to go, we can go back to this screen. And then this row of buttons right beside the stream buttons, there's a stop and a record.
Okay,
And then you can see it says disk, and there's the green LED. The
okay,
green LED means the drive is plugged in and ready for recording.
okay.
Now, as soon as I push record here, you can see on here, come on, there it goes.
So when it goes red over here, it should show up over here
Yeah.
as red then.
So now
too.
this is indicating you're recording, it's keeping a timer, it's showing the destination drive, and it's showing how much recording time is left.
Okay,
Awesome.
And then once you're ready to stop recording, you can just press stop.
And I take it it's got space for a second disc. Is that the?
Yeah, you could do, there's only one USB-C output on here, but you could do a splitter and then 2 discs. And then in that case, this will automatically choose whichever disc, unless you set it in the settings, it'll automatically choose whichever disc has the most free space available.
Nice.
And then, if you ever want to get the videos off of this drive, it is a USB-C drive. So if you don't have a computer with that available, we have a dongle right here. And we'll just kind of leave it plugged into this computer. But it has a USB-C input there and just a normal USB on the other side.
Okay.
So that way you can just unplug this drive from the box here,
plug it into there and
plug it into
back
there,
in.
and plug it into any computer you want.
Okay.
Okay.
You can see now it's saying no disk here.
Okay, it knows that you disconnected
Yeah.
it.
And then on the back of this box here is where this plugs in. Try to see if I can lift it up a little bit to show you better.
And third one over,
Yep, where it says USB out.
okay. Got
And it
little
is USB-C, so it doesn't matter which way you
Right
plug
to
it
it.
in.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Military, idiot
You
proof.
just want to make sure you have it fully clicked in. And sometimes it'll kind of work itself loose from the drive on this side a little bit, so you need to make sure that's clicked in as well.
But
Then
it will show
it
on the
should-
screen that the disk is on or not.
Yeah, and then you should also see the white light come on the drive itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
And that'll indicate that the drive is powered.
Have you ever seen that joke of the USB? Wrong, wrong, right.
Yeah, it's always the third try,
Yeah.
even though the first try was right,
I
yeah.
was gonna say, wait a second,
One of these sides should work.
It's the story of my life.
so the only way to get what's recorded on there is to plug it in here.
Yeah, and this computer, if you want to use it, or if you want to load it onto somebody else's computer, you can do that too. It's, at that point, just a normal external hard drive.
So, okay.
And it will work with Windows or Mac.
So,
Oh, good.
in other words, but we can't withdraw it with it being plugged in a lap box. It
Correct.
has to be
Correct.
put,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's stored just in here.
So you
It's
take
just
the
a
box,
start.
plug it into your laptop, and just download the file.
Yeah, just
Okay.
drag it over to your computer instead of the drive, and you're good to go.
What quality is it recording with? Are there different settings?
It should be full 1080p,
Okay.
so fully
Sounds-
HD.
Sounds like a lot. Okay.
Yeah. I believe it's 1080p, 24 frames per second.
Okay.
All right. Guess should we go back over kind of how the transition stuff works since we're videoing?
What's the transition stuff?
Like cutting between camera angles.
Oh yeah, yeah, that would be good to touch
Okay.
on again.
So pretty easy setup there. We just have 1, 2, and 3 are the inputs we're running. 1 is the left camera. You can see on our preview here, left camera. If I press 1, this box gets highlighted, and it's also what is being broadcasted when we're broadcasting,
Okay.
or recording if we're recording.
Which you can do both at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep. All right, and then camera 2, and that's highlighted now, and then camera 3 is actually just the computer.
Got a good memory.
Not really. For some things.
All right, now, if you want to get fancy with those, you have your selections here. Right now it's set to just cut. So that's just a hard cut. As soon as you press the button, it switches over.
Okay,
No delay, no fancy effects, nothing. If you want to do effects, you have quite a few options here. First step is you press auto. Then you can decide how long you want the transition to take. It's preset to 1 second. You have 0.5, 1, 1.5, or 2. And then these 6 buttons let you select which type of transition you would like. Right now it's just set to mix, so it'll just kind of randomly choose between these as you cycle through. If you want to do like one specifically, like we'll do the swipe transition here, and then it'll just kind of fade across the screen like that. And if you do like up the duration to 2 seconds with that,
it just takes longer for it to show up.
yeah.
That's a complete picture then, okay.
And there's all sorts of different directional wipes.
Oh, up, down,
You can do the full-on Star Wars style wipes. Dip, that will just dip to color. I think it's set to white.
Oh, that's nice.
versus black.
And then, like I said, mix should just kind of choose between. Actually, yeah, okay, so mix is doing just a fade
Yeah,
transition between the two. Right, and then,
Are they numbered or they are, it's written there? Is it numbered, like,
On-
the effects?
They're written, aren't they?
they're
The
written
actual
on
words.
it, each,
Oh, they're
or
written
they're
on
not
it.
necessarily written, but they have
Oh, it's like a
little
symbol.
symbols to tell you what
Okay.
they each
it'd be
do.
nice
Okay.
to take a picture of that and put it here, and blow it up a little bit so you can know
Yeah. I
that you
can
don't
do
have to sit on which button is it.
How are you telling it where you're dipping from? Because I'm seeing it's including the computer,
It's just whichever
Just the-
input I select.
so you're choosing
Camera 1,
Yeah.
2, or 3.
camera one and then the transition?
Yeah, so if I wanted to transition to the computer, I would just hit 3, and then it'll fade into the computer.
So
or
did you
2.
choose the transition first,
Yeah,
and then you did your change?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how come this monitor here is not running?
it's because that input switch isn't working properly.
Oh, that's okay.
So I
And
just,
this is
for
it
our
right
purposes
here.
today, I just have
Okay.
it running directly.
But what I
into
see
this.
here is what it would be.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. This
okay.
this is the computer output.
would be
so
showing.
what would be showing up
Okay.
here? Yeah, it's just not working right now. Let's see. And then for picture-in-picture kind of thing, if you
Ooh.
wanted to do stuff like that, say like you have the Bible verse showing up on the computer, so you would switch to 3
Oh, that's nice.
for that. And then picture-in-picture is always going to be camera 1, which is the left camera.
Okay.
So this one. So then up here, top in the middle, you can see there's these 4 buttons which
Which
show
corner you
which
want to
corner
Cool.
the inset picture will show up in, and then on and off. So say you have a Bible verse up, you want this camera to show up in the bottom left corner. So you would just select that button and then press on. You can see now in program, it's inset down there. And while it's on, you can still choose other
Oh,
corners.
flip it around, yeah.
Now can you change the size of it?
No,
We
unfortunately.
tried to
no.
last
We- we-
time.
That's one to verify that still was,
Still was
Yeah,
the
it won't let us do that,
operational,
unfortunately.
case.
But it is nice you can change corners because sometimes you're covering up part of
Yeah.
the text
Yeah,
or your
exactly,
picture.
yeah.
can't see it on TV out there. Why don't you put it in that corner, because you're covering up the action on this corner?
Happens a lot on the computer. Something will
Yeah.
open up and it's like, what I need is behind you.
All right, guess we can go, oh yeah, camera control. Should probably talk about that as well. All right, so this is the whole control system for the pan tilt zoom cameras. You select which camera you want to operate here. Right now it's just camera 1 and camera 2, and those are assigned to the same as the inputs over here, so left and right. So if we select camera 1 here, that'll be the left camera. And then using this joystick, you can see they're marked out on here as well, the directions for
Okay.
everything. So you can pan left and right,
Can you
tilt
adjust the
up and
speed on
down.
that, Tyler, so it doesn't?
Yeah, that's adjustable. And then zoom out and zoom in, or twisting. Then there's also, we have some presets marked out. So say we choose preset 1, the camera will automatically move over to preset 1, 2, and so on. If you wanted to add more presets, I think the last one we have is 5. Yeah, so 6 is open. So if we wanted to add another preset, I'll just kind of,
Maybe the piano.
yeah, that'll work, if I can find it.
Keep going, there it is.
There we go.
Ooh, that'll be nice, cause you can.
Okay, yeah. So, in order to program that in, you get your camera positioned exactly where you want it.
Okay,
Then down here, you press set. And then it'll say set preset.
Oh,
Okay.
You press 6. And
I'll
that should
tell you
show up
what-
as well.
I'll tell you which
And then
one.
you press enter.
Get
so
in, it
now-
locks in that,
Yeah.
locks in that location.
Yeah, so now if I go back to 1, camera will move over to that. If I press 6,
nice.
it'll go right back.
Now, so-
And if you decide that you like this preset, but you want it zoomed out a little bit, it's easy to override. It's just the exact same process. So like I'll zoom out a little bit, set, 6, enter.
and now,
So
now we'll
now
reset it to the new.
6
setting.
has been overridden with this. So if you find that the order we have them in isn't working, you makes sense in a different order for you, you can go through and redo all of them.
Okay.
See, that'd be nice there too, see, have those over here preset for camera 1 is what they
Yes,
are.
yes, have
That
them
way,
guide,
you're not
yeah.
sitting there, well, now which one was it?
Well, because ideally, you would use the same ones all the time when you're doing the benediction or communion, you're in
Right.
the middle, so
Yeah.
we just would have that.
Yeah.
Like I said, you have them up there, so some,
Yes, and don't change them.
no,
Right? And
Yeah.
you can do all of that while the stream and broadcast are running too. I just have camera 1 selected on here for now while I'm operating it, so it's easier for you guys to see. But you can still see the other camera here. So for instance, we could go in camera 2 and change what that's shooting
Oh.
to get it ready for the next
like I
transition.
say, that's what I was doing the internet.
So if you
with
want to
Gary.
go, like, if you left camera 2 over here, but you wanted to transition to someone speaking at the pulpit, you could get that ready, wait for it to focus up, and then when you press 2, it transitions right to that. So you have your previews here.
How'd you do the focus?
It's just set to autofocus, so you just have to kind of give it a second to kind of
okay.
dial in. Cool.
Alrighty.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You know, like when you buy a camera and then you have on the manual, like there's the camera diagram with all the functions listed. Does the manual have like a function for this, like the control panel?
For this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
do
there's
you know?
actually, we do have a manual saved
Because
on
they
the
have
computer.
print that.
Ah,
Yeah.
that would be handy.
We just kind of minimize these for now. We have it just right here on the desktop.
Okay.
Ah, yes.
And it goes through in excruciating detail,
Okay.
everything. So the one I'm making up is going to be simpler
Oh, good.
than
That's
this,
what-
hopefully.
Thank you.
Yeah, 'cause what I was looking for is just, like I said, have one of these pictures over here that tells you what all the buttons are, so you're not constantly having to look down on there.
Yes.
So once you learn what they are,
Kind of stuff
you